This season of Healthy in the Garden State is generously sponsored by Hunterdon Health. Welcome to Healthy in the Garden State. I'm your host, Cherichello Tente, and I am on a mission to highlight all the ways New Jersey supports healthier living. Join me in exploring trails, parks, gyms, wellness centers, restaurants, grocery stores, and more, all in search of inspiration for how we can get and stay healthy right here in our garden state. I'm a New Jersey native and certified fitness professional passionate about helping people live their healthiest lives. Because our health comes first. The healthier we are, the better we show up in the world. The better our interaction, the better our productivity. The list goes on. Every bit counts when it comes to our health. And I hope that Healthy in the Garden State gives you fresh ideas and encouragement to keep moving forward. Let's dive into today's episode. Whether you are tuning in for the first time or you are returning, thanks so much for watching Healthy in the Garden State. Today, I find myself surrounded by New Jersey farmland, from a tiny micro farm to a much bigger farm to an incredible nonprofit's work to ensure that farm fresh produce gets into the homes of those who may need the help the most. We are going to multiple counties today here in New Jersey to share just a little bit of the many acres of farmland our state has, producing food and goods for our residents. Let's start with a visit here at Wageningen Daughters. So Wageningen Daughters, 1, 2, 3.
Yes.
Why did you decide to name your farms this?
So a lot of places will do and sons.
Right.
I don't have a son, obviously. So we had this one first right here, and we had the name, we didn't have an official business, but we had the name DVW, which was Doug Van Wageningen, and then Farms. When she was in mommy's belly, I was like, and we knew we were having another daughter, I'm like, why don't I name it Van Wageningen and Daughters? And I literally looked up to see if there was any other companies with and daughters. I think I literally only found like 2.
Wow.
At least in my Google search.
Sure.
So I'm like, oh, let me do in Daughters. Like, people would love that. It would be like so unique.
Yes.
So I did in Daughters, and I might have jinxed myself because then we had a third daughter.
That little cutie.
Yeah.
What's your job on the farm, Raylan?
To sell flowers.
To sell flowers. Nice. And what are your favorite kinds of flowers?
Snapdragon.
Oh, well, perfect. I'm glad we're at the Snapdragons then.
Fitting a lot in a little space.
Yeah.
So we also consider ourselves like permaculture.
Okay.
So permaculture is the art and science of working with nature. There is classes you could take on it.
Okay.
And it's not only in farming, you could do it with like your lifestyle. And we also do, we call it beyond organic because we don't use any sprays. So organic can still use like 250 chemicals and sprays.
Right.
They're certified organic, but who knows if they're actually good for the soil, the plants, or your own self. We don't use any of that, so we call it beyond organic.
How did you come to decide you wanted to do this and learn all about it?
So it all started with a little tiny plot, which was probably like right here.
Yes.
I'm thinking probably 12 years ago when I started just putting some, I don't even know where I got the seeds, but it was me, my brother, and a buddy of mine, and we just put some seeds in the ground, and we got green beans was the first thing we grew.
Great.
And my buddy just, I liked them, I ate them, but my buddy loved them. He's like, dude, these are the best green beans I've ever had in my life. We started with that, and then the next year we grew a little bit more of other stuff, and we just ate whatever we grew. And then when I turned 21, Kara came into the picture, and we started this area here that has the wooden fence posts.
Sure.
So this whole back area here was where we originally started because it was the sunniest spot.
Yes, I can tell
Here.
even in the morning here.
So the first year we didn't even do anything to the ground. And we covered it with black plastic.
Okay.
And then just put holes in the black plastic.
Yep.
And planted in that. And we had a pretty good harvest that year, and we started a little cardboard table stand.
Is it time to tickle daddy? Is it a tickle break? Tickle break!
You're silly, right? There's a lot of pesticides that animals can eat, and then it gets goes right through them and they don't digest it or break it down, and then it comes out in their manure.
Sure.
So if that manure gets mixed in the compost, or if people spray their lawns with stuff and then that gets mixed, some of those pesticides don't break down. So we are starting our own compost area and doing all the composting on our own. We do have chickens, so we feed them all organic or non-GMO feed, and we know kind of where that comes from, at least a good reputable company. So we've been using their manure mixed with wood chips and then creating our own compost, and we've been using that to spread everywhere instead of buying it from any other place. We try not growing anything that's not edible.
Wonderful.
In any aspect. Some of the trees we have don't produce fruit, but they produce nectar or pollen for the bees. So they're edible for them.
Yes.
And then we eat their honey.
So there's a lot that we can even do in our own yards without, you know, tons of fancy resources.
Yeah.
It's really getting
Actually,
to the
so a
crux
lot of
it.
people think that it's illegal to collect water in Jersey. It's not. You can collect rainwater in New Jersey, and then you can use the rainwater to water your plants as well. The well water and rainwater are the best to use for watering everything, because a lot of city water is treated with who knows what. So that stuff's not really good for the plants. It can inhibit their growth or have them not as healthy.
I see some tomatoes.
Yeah, has some tomatoes.
Yep.
Which I do not like tomatoes.
No,
but
really?
I love to grow tomatoes, and I love the smell of tomato plants. So we have tomatoes and then more peppers. The next row is snapdragons and lavender that kind of got taken over by some tomatoes.
Okay.
Then there's eggplant and zucchini and a pumpkin plant. This one we tried to trestle up, but it got so heavy with fruit that it just
the whole
and
thing.
you can grow a tomato plant like this in a 5-gallon bucket.
Yes.
That's probably the smallest size vessel that you should grow a tomato plant in, is a 5-gallon bucket. Because they take a lot of nutrients out of the soil.
I've seen that with a lot of people who are in apartments or urban spaces where they're trying to grow their own. A lot of the figuring out what you can do in buckets.
Yep. Tomatoes is definitely one of them.
That's great.
One thing we like to do is experiment a lot too. Because every area you grow in is a lot different. So like one thing could work for somebody, it can't work for somebody else. Underneath this is probably about 6 to 8 giant logs, like massive from a tree that was over there, and a bunch of brush, leaves, grass clippings, some compost soil put on top of that, and then wood chips. So it's a type of growing called hugel culture. So all that eventually is going to all break down over time, but it holds a lot of moisture and water. So the roots eventually reach down there and then collect all that moisture and water and all the nutrients from it breaking down. And then all this was planted mainly by us and the girls. The girls planted a lot of all these flowers. We just give them a whole bunch of seed and said go around and put them all around. Four years ago, we started with a beekeeper who came and put bees here and helped us and taught us. Okay. And then 2 years after that, we were like, you know what, we're gonna do this on our own, and we're gonna go off and take the course. We took a course with Landy, I think her name is, Goose Rock Farms in Montville, and she's a master beekeeper. Very nice lady, awesome course that she gives, very informative. So we took the course with her and got the certification, because after having bees for a year on your own, you need to have a certification in Jersey. So we got the certification, and now we've just been doing it on our own for a couple of years. So even the bees, some people won't agree with me, which is fine, because a lot of people don't. We don't treat them with anything. What are you doing? You want to come see the stand with us?
Yeah.
Okay. And then we have a little self-serve stand.
Oh, yes.
And we try to keep it stocked at least 3 to 4 days of the week.
Nice.
So we got some garlic on there, some honey, eggplants,
They're so perfect.
squash, and tomatoes.
Nice. How can people continue the conversation with you or reach out?
Just look up Wageningen Daughters Farms or Facebook, Instagram.
Yes.
We have all that.
Excellent.
So, yeah.
This was great. Thanks for letting us visit today, Doug, and thanks for letting us chat with your beautiful family. Thank you. Thanks for what you're doing.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Hunterdon Health knows when it comes to your family, good health is everything. You depend on our high-quality, compassionate care for pediatric checkups, primary care, and urgent care, specialty care services, and life-saving screenings. Maternity and newborn services. Hunterdon Health is here for all your family's healthcare needs, so together you can enjoy the everyday little moments that make for an extraordinary life.
From a microfarm to a really pretty darn big farm, we visit Donaldson Farms in Hackettstown, New Jersey in Warren County. This farm spans over 500 acres and has been in the Donaldson family for 6 generations. Among what you'll find here: pick your own fruits and pumpkins, varying depending on the season, a farm market of a variety of local produce and goods, a giant corn maze, yearly partnerships with different charities to give back, and we are visiting during one of their fall harvest weekends, and I can just feel those autumn vibes all around me. Let's explore. So Katie, tell us more about the history of Donaldson Farms and this multi-generational aspect we have going on here.
So, and you picked the perfect day to visit.
Yes.
Farm's been here since 1906. Okay. It's been in my husband's family since that time. It was traded for a 2-bedroom house in West Orange at that time. Yeah, and at that time there was 120 acres here. Now there are about 500 acres right here in this big rectangle. But our farm's about approximately 1,500 to 1,600 acres in and around Warren County. There's not many big farms like this in New Jersey left, and what it takes to run it is a lot of hard work and dedication, which they've been doing for years. So yeah, this part right here is all our pick your own. We do pick your own strawberries, apples, pumpkins throughout the seasons. We do close in the winter. Our farm market closes down in the winter where we're still working, but just not out in the fields. We have the nursery and greenhouse that my brother-in-law David operates and runs. On the other side of the farm, my brother-in-law Gary runs the wholesale operations, and that's where we buy and sell to other farmers markets, other big grocery stores, and then we have the farm market, which is all, we get the fun stuff. Wow. Hi guys, how are you? So this maze this year is 9 acres dedicated to the Special Olympics New Jersey. So $1 from every ticket sold will be donated at the end of the season, in addition to all the other events that we raise.
Has anyone gotten lost here for a long time?
Not many, no, yeah, not many.
Usually. Katie, what is your day-to-day like here on the farm for you?
For me, I do a lot of the public relations, oversee the school tours, branding in the farm market, signage, and it changes with the seasons, clearly. We grow over 30 crops here within those crops collectively, within the whole family. There's 30 crops within them, hundreds of varieties. Wow. So tons of different types of lettuce, tomatoes, everything, and most of it all are picked by hand. Okay. And people don't appreciate, how the work that goes into it. It's a labor of love. The tomato plants that we plant, every wooden stake that you see is put in by hand. Every string is strung by hand.
Katie, thank you so much for sharing this with us today.
You're welcome.
And now we'll go around even through some of the crops and produce with Molly?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Great.
So the parents, Lou and Helen Donaldson, they still own all of the farm property, and then the businesses are split up into 3 different businesses for the brothers. Greg Donaldson and his wife Katie, they operate the farm market and all the produce that we grow and sell at the farm market, and they also do the agritourism, right? They do the field trips, the Friday nights on the farm, the food truck festivals, the fall harvest festivals. And then you have the wholesale operation that's run by Gary Donaldson and his son Justin, and then they contract out with your local grocery stores. So you have ShopRite, Foodtown, Wegmans that they contract with, and you're looking for that Jersey Fresh sign to see if it's Donaldson produce. And then our last brother here is David, and David operates the greenhouse.
So Molly, what are some of the biggest challenges that farmers are facing?
Yeah, so from the outside looking in, right, I'm not the farmer, I'm staff here, and I love being here every day, but from that outside perspective, it's the cost of everything. Trying to keep it consumer friendly. You have to keep the price cost effective enough that the consumer still want to come and buy. The biggest challenge for all of them, for all the businesses, whether you're the greenhouse, the market, or the wholesale operation, is how do you keep those costs down when everything else is costing you more and more money? I know we talk about the ear of corn every season. How much are we going to sell an ear of corn for? Are we really selling it for $1? Can you keep it down to 75 cents an ear, right? The same with the pumpkins. You look at the pumpkin costs every year. They're 72 cents a pound this year. I believe they were 72 cents a pound last year, right? So you didn't make that cost. You didn't make the pumpkin go up because you want the consumers to come and be able to afford those experiences and those fresh quality products. but your costs have gone up astronomically throughout the year, right? So in my opinion, that would be the greatest challenge. And then rain is a challenge. We actually had quite a dry year this year, but rain, you can't get rid of the water. So once the water piles up, it can kill some of your crops, right?
Yeah.
And we talk about every morning you get up and you're like, okay, what's the weather going to be today? We all look at our weather app multiple times a day, because whether you're talking about the crops being planted or you're talking about the events that we plan, right? And you're trying to make money through your events coming in and your festivals, and we're looking at the weather constantly, like, please don't rain, right? So, you know, there's a lot of challenges, but I think those would be the two biggest ones for them.
Absolutely.
This is a memorial pond. There was another brother who didn't want the farm side of things, right? There's also two sisters involved in the family. When the brother passed away, he had brought his koi fish here, and then they did like a much bigger memorial pond.
Oh, that's beautiful.
In the 90s, so the farmer works with Rutgers University.
Amazing.
So they come out on a regular basis, especially look at the trees and see what's happening there. So in the 90s, they came out to talk to Greg, and Greg said, none of my cucumbers are growing. I don't know what to do. And they said, you don't have enough natural bee population. So Greg became a beekeeper and put beehives on the farm, beehive boxes. So now there are 40 beehive boxes. He does not do the beekeeping anymore. We have two beekeepers.
Nice.
So when you go in the farm market and you see it's our own honey, it is our own honey that's been harvested. And those bees, they work very hard to make sure everything gets pollinated. This has been around for about 30 years, the apple orchard. And those apple trees are called spindle apple trees, so they're growing straight up, right? Versus like this big bushy apple. This is not an apple tree, this is the peach orchard.
Okay.
Peaches are done for the season, but like normally a lot of people see the apple trees like that.
Yeah.
So those spindle apple trees, they obviously let you fit more apple trees in there. But they also produce fruit sooner. So they produce fruit in 1 year where that big bushy apple tree produces in 3.
Does the consumer always know it's from Donaldson? Like, is it always labeled Donaldson or
So
not?
you're looking for the Jersey Fresh sign, which some of us have on our shirts and stuff. You see that Jersey Fresh sign. I always tell everybody, when you see that sign, take a look around, because usually they will either put the name of the farm that it comes from, and sometimes they'll actually put a picture of the farmer.
Okay.
So even if it's not our farm, it may be another local farm that you really love, right?
Yes. There is something really powerful about stepping outside, breathing in the fresh air, and actually seeing where our food comes from. It's grounding. When we go outside, we are connecting with nature, we are calming those stress hormones, and just feeling good. The energy here today has been palpable. It's wellness really coming from the ground up right here in our Garden State. Whether big or small, farms are a crucial part of New Jersey. From growing produce we eat, to taking care of animals, to teaching people about the earth, to being a place for families to gather and enjoy time together. We have so many farms to explore and learn from here in our state. Now we'll shift gears to a farm that is a nonprofit, America's Grow Row in Pittstown, New Jersey, growing and harvesting fresh products, then delivering it to families facing food insecurity, all while teaching the value of healthy eating. Tell me about why you like volunteering here.
I like volunteering because I like helping people,
Yes.
and this service is for helping people. So it motivates me to do it and to be able to reach out to people that I need. At least that's the least I can do.
And this is a huge part of what makes this nonprofit so special. All of these volunteers that are here every single day. Chip, you are the one who started this whole venture. Can you please share more about your story? How did this begin?
Sure, thanks, Kate. It started back in 2002. I had a garden. I wanted to start a daddy-daughter project with my 4-year-old daughter. And so I came out to Hunterdon County. It's a beautiful area. I want to get involved in agriculture. And thought, well, maybe a garden would be fun for the two of us. And so, we basically had a whole lot of extra produce and didn't know what to do with it. I came out of our little garden, and I was giving away to friends and family and such, until I saw this 3-line article in the paper. And it very clearly said, if you have extra produce, to bring it down to the food pantry and grow a row for the hungry. And that's really how the program started. So we had extra produce, went down to the food pantry, and that was just a very meaningful and moving experience.
That's incredible. So you started with, it was you and your daughter, and today it's this huge, huge nonprofit. How did you get from A to B there?
Well, there's a whole lot of meat in the middle, but I will tell you, the first year we donated 120 pounds, and now it's 4 million pounds a year that we're serving. But that happened only because we brought great people together. And really it boils down to, I had a passion for gardening, realized that there was a purpose to serve in terms of using that extra produce, a project that I enjoyed, we enjoyed, my daughter and I, and then put together a plan and got the right people together, and one thing led to the next, and so got different corporations that come in and help support us, volunteering and financially speaking, and then also folks in the community, schools, and it just kind of became a groundswell.
How do you find the people who need the food? Who do you connect with? How has that changed over the years?
So initially it was just the food pantry,
Yes.
right, which is local here in Hunterdon County. But then we grew out and we started to serve the local food banks. It was Northwest Cap right down the road. Then it was a community food bank in New Jersey, further down the road. Now it's all food banks throughout the state of New Jersey, the Four Corners, and 24 states that we're serving. So the produce is, over 50% stays within New Jersey, 55% a year. But the ones that go beyond our borders, that's going to as far as north as Maine, down to Florida, to Texas, to Iowa, to different food banks that are in need of healthy food for their agencies that they support. But bigger than that, we're positively impacting people because it's not about pounds, it is about people. And so looking to positively impact 158,000 people this year, and that's a combination of the people we serve with food, the 14,000 volunteers that come out each year, the 1,000 folks from underserved areas that harvest, that bring back food back to their families and their communities in need. So everyone's part of this. But at the end of the day, if anyone comes here in this farm, whether it's staff, whether it's volunteers, whether it's funders, folks who receive, if they're not changed and not a little bit different at the end of the day, then we failed in our mission.
I'm Shauna Alvarez. I'm the Executive Chef and Program Manager here at America's Grow-A-Row. It's my job to translate all of the incredible food we grow onto the plates of families at home. We have an online library of videos for weeknight recipes that are all vegetable forward and affordable. We work directly with community organizations, hospitals, and schools to teach hands-on cooking classes that really emphasize easy, delicious recipes that anybody can do at home. And I work closely with our feeding partners to understand the realities of the families that we're serving so that we're always making sure that we're taking that into consideration with everything we put out.
So how did these education programs get started? Was it to fill the need? Was it to get more more into the communities? Just can you share a little bit more about the history?
Sure. So long before I joined, Chip would be at the free farmers market handing out food to folks in the community, and time again he heard from people that they didn't know how to use an eggplant or a butternut squash or something else that they had not seen in their community or not had access to for a really long time. So we started sharing recipes, and that sort of evolved into a hands-on education program. The cornerstone of our education program is Kids Farm Days. That's when we welcome about 1,000 kids over 2 weeks here to our Pittstown farm. They harvest in a field specially planted by our farmers for them. They take all that food home and they work with me and my team to make an easy and delicious recipe here in the barn. Over and over and over again, every year, I get to see somebody bite into a peach for the first time. And I don't know if you have kids, but I remember all 3 of my kids sort of having that experience of biting into something like a peach or a mango and their eyes just lighting up and just being amazed at the sort of full spectrum of the flavor. And I get to do that for thousands of kids every year. So it's pretty good.
Shauna, thank you for what you do, and thank you for letting us be here and talk to you today.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, so this is a great example of when Chip and Kira first started the garden. Kira was only 4 years old at the time. They started that little tiny garden right here, right outside this headquarters barn where we are right now.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
And now, Jackie, you are in charge of the fundraising, and you wear a lot of hats. Share a little bit more about all you're doing.
I'm our Senior Director of Development, so I'm fortunate enough to oversee all of our fundraising efforts as well as all of our marketing efforts, yeah.
Excellent, and I love this little bit of a timeline of some of the work you're doing. Can you point out some of the action we're seeing in these photos?
So again, kind of back to the early days, right? So this is where our free farm market program started many, many years ago. We had heard that there was this thing called food deserts all over the country. A young lady that was working for our team at the time had read an article on an airplane and learned about food deserts, and so we decided we were going to try and do something about it. So we started bringing boxes of food into Camden, New Jersey, which is a tremendous food desert, as you probably know. And it was just great. It's really where we learned that people didn't even understand what the vegetables were, unfortunately. There were children in Camden that literally picked up a green bean and said, "What is this, Miss Jackie?" because they had never seen a green bean before.
Wow.
Yeah, so now we have free farmers markets in Camden, as well as Jersey City, and several other local areas as well.
Amazing, amazing.
Yeah, it's the early days of our farm. When it first got started, our director of farming, Jeremy Compton, is there. in the early days of first farming right outside here, again, outside our headquarters farm.
Excellent.
Some examples of our corporate volunteers. We'll talk in a minute about that, but our corporate volunteers come out and they volunteer and they have a community building event. 14,000 volunteers this year will come out. So that's just a great example. And this is our children. They love coming out or seeing a farm for the first time. You know, children grow up in a city. They've never seen a farm before. And not only do they see a farm for the first time, but they also get to eat a raw piece of corn for the first time, which is like, it's like sugar. If you've ever had a piece of corn freshly picked, it just doesn't get any better. So kids love that. This is a great picture because it's some young kids that had come out back in the early days. And then many years later, this girl right here came out and said, she was a leader now of the community group. And she said, hey, that's me. And so that was exciting.
Oh, great full circle moment.
This is a great example. Bank of America, one of our incredible sponsors. We're very grateful to Bank of America. A big group of them came out and did a huge pick. It was a record-setting winter squash pick. And then last but definitely not least, this is Chip and Kira. Chip was honored as a CNN hero. You're probably aware of that. And so that was a picture that was taken during the CNN Hero program.
Beautiful, beautiful. So now tell me more about how you get your funding and, you know, if someone watching even is looking to support, what can they do? Who do they reach out to?
Yeah, absolutely. So America's Grower doesn't take any federal or state funding whatsoever. We are completely privately funded. As you can see here on the wall, many of the region's largest corporations support America's Grower. Those organizations will come out, they'll volunteer here on the farm, sometimes for many years, and they'll see what we're all about, and they'll embrace our mission, and then they invite us to apply for funding through their organization. So we've been very, very fortunate that the state's largest corporations have really been supporting our mission and helping us feed people. We couldn't do it without them. And then, you know, if people wanted to donate, of course, we are completely privately funded. Corporations for sure, but also just private individuals like you and I, Kate. So for example, this year we're running our little tiny 25 and 25 campaign. $25 might not sound like a lot to you, right? But if everybody made a little $25 donation, $25 will feed a family of 4 for an entire week. A whole week. And so, you know, everybody, we believe here at America's Grow that you're never too young or too old to volunteer and help somebody in need. We also believe that everybody could help solve this hunger problem that everybody's facing so that people can eat healthy and live a better life. I would encourage your viewers to go check out our website and see if they're inspired to come out and volunteer. We do volunteer groups every single day, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to noon. Every single day they could come out. They just go on our website and volunteer. There's a volunteer button. Just go on there and sign up. We would love to have them. And we'll be having volunteers every year from early July all the way through Thanksgiving.
I'm excited. We're going to now go and meet these volunteers, and they're going to show me the ropes.
Absolutely. Great.
Excellent. Jackie, so tell me a bit more about what we have here by way of, they all have different t-shirts.
Yeah, absolutely. So every day here at America's Grower, we have companies from all over the state of New Jersey, New York, and Philadelphia, the entire region. People even fly out sometimes to bring their employees in for this wonderful team building event. So today, yeah, we have several groups out here. We have J&J out here today, which is our longest time corporate volunteer group. They've been volunteering with us for many, many, many years. But then we also have several other companies, as well as even some community volunteers. Anybody could sign up to volunteer.
Our volunteers harvest around 90% of what we distribute. They play a critical role. They're the backbone and the lifeblood of what we do here. Everything is core with the volunteers. If they're not coming out on a timely basis, the produce will go to waste. So it's not just like a nice thing when they come out. Clearly, they play an enormous role in the organization, the operations.
And how many thousands of volunteers a year again?
14,000 this year.
14,000 this year.
And every year it's growing.
My name is PB.
PB, nice to meet you. And I'm Kate.
And I'm Bill.
Bill, nice to meet you guys.
Kate.
So can you tell me what you're doing and maybe show me how to help?
Certainly. Oh, go ahead, young man, PB. We got to do the corn first. Wait, we got to harvest corn first.
Well, you harvest corn by ripping it off.
Ripping it off like
and then
that?
what's it have to be?
It has to be hard on
Right, it can't be soft and mushy.
This one's soft and mushy.
So this one's good one, right?
Ah, let's pick that one off and we'll show it.
This one's soft and mushy.
Right,
Soft
so this
and
one's
mushy.
good.
Oh yeah, okay, I feel it. Yeah, that's a little soft. It's a little in between, I don't know.
Correct.
Yeah.
So what do we do with this one? If it's soft and mushy?
Put it on the ground.
Put it on the ground.
Okay.
And after there's no more corn on the stalk, you rip it out of the ground. And
Well, we bend it over, right?
Bend it over.
you bend it over with your foot. And then
Right.
you kick it down.
And then kick it down. And why do we kick it down?
So
we
no
know
one
which one is what?
So people don't try to find corn on it.
On the ground,
Ah,
right.
'cause it's
So we
already been
harvest
done?
it, and then we kick it down.
Excellent. It's quite satisfying to just like rip it off and, oh wait, this one's not, yep, that's not, so we kick it.
Yep, we knock it over.
So is this your first time at the farm?
Yes.
Yes.
My first time.
Your first time? Okay.
No, it's my second.
And your second time?
Yeah,
And Team Mom, your second time too? Okay, great. What do you love about being here?
I think it's the whole purpose of the farm itself.
Yeah.
I mean, they're a nonprofit farm that serves all these fields to people that need it.
Yeah.
The food banks and everyone else.
Karen, I hear great things about what you're doing here at Grow Row. Tell me a little bit more about how you came to find out about the organization.
Wow, it goes back prior. Our girls basically grew up on the farms out here in Hunterdon County. So the first time I saw a sign coming up, I guess it was 2016, 17, of the first small little sign coming onto the Pittstown farms back then. And we were so curious about what was going on, and we met Chip very early on, and our girls started to volunteer just in farming. At that time, I already had a business with a couple thousand employees, and it was the best way to give back, right? Our employees were like, they loved coming out to the farm. We were always like, who's going to pick the most tons this year, right? And we would always be, you know, gangbusters. My husband and I would be out here and just leading the pack. And every year our team kept looking forward to that. So in 2021, we sold that business, and my husband and I are out doing it again and running companies. And this is now the best way to give back is for your employees to see what you're doing in the world, making an impact just locally in your own backyards. I remember meeting Chip back in probably 17, Jackie, even prior to that. Our kids went to school together at Acorn Montessori. So our girls today are all in college, going for master's programs, and they are kind, good, generous people. So I think bringing your family, bringing your team together, coming out in nature, you create amazing individuals that give back to the world. And that's what it's all about, is giving back, making an impact, and just understanding that not everyone's as fortunate, but to learn that back then, people in New Jersey never saw a corn stalk or never saw a tomato. That just didn't resonate. Like, how could that possibly happen? So we were on board with Chip's mission and just backed by the people that were always surrounded him. So it's an honor to always be here and just give back to the farm. It's like the best place in the world. It's the best place in the world, just be next to nature and make a difference. Yay! Go America's Grow Row! Woohoo! Support, support, support. Extra money end of the year, best place to donate.
You heard it. New Jersey is home to over 700,000 acres of farmland. So I encourage you to get out there and visit some of those acres, talk to the people who are running these farms, and learn more about where our food is coming from. Until next time, I'm Cherichello Tente, and thank you for watching Healthy in the Garden State. For more free resources, as well as to sign up to be notified when new episodes are released, check out healthyinthegardenstate.com. Here's to living our healthiest lives in the Garden State. I'll be seeing you out in the fields. A special thanks to our season sponsor, Hunterdon Health. Hey there, thanks so much for watching Healthy in the Garden State. If you enjoyed this episode, you will also love the Dose of Health mini-series that we have going on YouTube. Twice a month, we are profiling different health experts from across the Garden State to give you more information, more resources, and more health tips to live your healthiest life here in New Jersey. So twice a month, Dose of Health under the Healthy in the Garden State YouTube channel. Thanks again.